All right, welcome back to Almost Above Average. I'm your host, Chris McIntyre, and today I'm joined by AJ for a conversation that hits close to home for a lot of us. We are living in a time where the political climate isn't just shaping headlines, it's shaping our relationships, our family, and the way we see each other. With so much noise in the media, it's getting easy to get caught up in the stories we're told, sometimes tying our egos and identities to what we consume without ever hearing the whole truth. So today, we're digging into how today's politics and media culture impact our connections with the people we care about most. How do we keep our families strong and our friendships real when it feels like the world is trying to pull us apart? So I'm glad you brought this topic up, AJ. So in your experience, have you seen the current political climate affect your relationships among your group or your family and friends?
Yes, it most definitely has. I'm at the point where I've had to walk away from a few friendships, and even with his last administration, I've had to walk away with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything else like that. With certain people, I had to disassociate and actually gain my peace from disassociating with them.
Right. There's a lot of what I found is I get into a lot of stupid battles online, and you always hit a certain point where, like, I know I'm right. You also know you're right. And there's no way to make those two things meet, especially when you really respect the other person. It's like we're friends first, dude, but now we're at odds. And I see that a lot.
And I think main reason why if it was like a disagreement on favorite colors or like what to eat or something like that, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Or even procedure, like as you're fixing something or whatever the case may be, you can get into it with another technician who's fixing things a different way. Like there's so many different ways to get into arguments and everything else like that. What's so powerful about what's going on today is that there's actual lives and there's people like being threatened by certain actions.
Mhm.
And when a friend comes to you and they tell you, it's like, hey, like, I'm worried about my family member, and you're over here just calling my family member some illegal alien and not like even taking to what I consider like something close to me into consideration. You're solid in your stance on what? Like vilifying my family?
So you dismiss my feelings by doing that, and you don't even know you're doing it.
No,
And I
because
experience that so freaking much. It's ugh.
and that's frustrating. It's like at that point, it's like, are you actually a friend? Because if you came to me with anything, I'm gonna take it into consideration first and foremost, and then we can talk about it and actually try to find a certain point of understanding. It's not just a boogeyman, and now your family has to suffer or my family has to suffer, and for what?
These things are happening though. Everything that's going on in the country is happening. And what I'm finding in my day-to-day life is that like I have to defend the things that I'm saying. Like you don't see everything. You're not seeing this everywhere on social media. They're taking people out of the fields. They're taking people out of their food truck.
Yeah.
Like that's not the rapist and the gang member you told me you were going after. They're going after my fucking roofing crew. There was this video I saw the other day that ICE was down on the ground level and the whole roofing crew was on the roof. They're like, we're not coming down, and the cops ain't gonna go up on a ladder like that. I wonder how long they waited it out, you know. But that scares the shit out of me personally. That affects me personally, you know. And since the tariffs already came in, right when I started this roofing business, I had my set prices. A month later, 30 days after, it was when the tariffs kicked in. I got a brand new price sheet, everything, at least 20%. That's, 2 grand off a 10K job. Can you go, can you go $2,000?
And then you have to raise the prices on your customers, and there is no guarantee that they're even going to go for it now.
And then I have to,
Because
yeah, I have to have that conversation. I got to convince you that, hey, I'm really sorry. Hopefully you voted for Trump and you like it. Hopefully you're like, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I love the tariff. How much more? It's $45,000. Like, oh, yeah. Like, let me hear that conversation. That will never happen in my industry.
no, and like I think that the really hard part is that Trump supporters get so caught up in, well, you just hate Trump, so nothing he does is ever going to be good in your eyes. Like,
Right.
no, I don't even know the man to hate him. I just know he's not a good quality person by his actions, and
We
I
have
judge
watched
a
him.
person. Yeah,
We've
literally.
watched him screw up. We've watched him lie. The fact that you don't believe the lie is not my problem. It does suck when I have to converse with you and you don't understand the truth or you can't see it. And so you just start calling me a liar. What do you mean?
Well, you just hate Trump. You have what was it? TDS.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Like, what is that? Like, So you're trying to make any type of opposition that's set against this man is crazy or whatever, and that just gives him a free pass to do whatever unchecked without accountability.
Yeah. No plans. There's no the people defending like the tariffs or the deportation, their argument dies as soon as you ask them what good it's caused.
Yeah.
It dies. There's no facts coming after that because it's all opinion and it's all something they just heard.
And it's fear. It's a lot of fear mongering. It's a lot of
100%.
fear mongering. Like they try to claim that they're the criminals. Like you're not arresting criminals. Criminal isn't showing up to court.
Right.
Like,
Their argument there is
like,
they crossed the border, right?
I mean,
That's a crime.
That's a ticket. That's a ticket. It's a misdemeanor ticket. Like it's a misdemeanor crime. It's not even something that you can be incarcerated for.
Right.
Like,
Right. And my argument to that is like, do you
Excited.
text and drive? Do you text and drive? What laws are you breaking daily? And you're gonna hold a family to a different standard. They're fleeing something. Most of these people that are coming to the country, they're fleeing something. You know, like death, oppression, or
migrants, yes.
right. The criminals, they're coming over. They're gonna be criminals. Criminals are always gonna crap.
We're criminals.
Right.
Yeah, criminals are criminals. They're gonna criminal.
These people that are showing up at the border seeking asylum, you know, getting their dates pushed out, getting let in the country and put up, and then they show up to their legal hearings. They're like, yeah, about that status, that guy who's in the White House, he said, fuck it. We're going to pull your status. And lucky for you, we have ICE right outside the courtroom. We didn't tell anyone. We didn't even ask the court if we could bring them, which we legally need to do. It's crazy the amount of laws this administration is breaking. And then they claim to be the
Administration of laws.
law and order fucking
Law and order. Yeah.
yeah. It's just ridiculous.
It's only law and order when they want to apply it. And then if you really like dig down and deep and ask why are they migrating, you'll find that we have a part in why they're migrating. Like we destabilize these Central American countries and have been for years.
Right. There's that too.
For corporate profits. And so they try to go somewhere where we're gonna take in the poor, the hungry. Like send us your week, and we'll turn them into fucking great Americans. Like that's been the staple of being American for the longest period of time. And now all of a sudden, because their skin color is a little bit different, they can't pass through Ellis Island just as easily anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's terrifying. Like the first administration, I would say maybe you agree or don't, but we kind of went through the same thing with our friends and family politically. But what I remember about the first Trump administration, it was very visceral because he was a new kind of politician and he was breaking rules. He was breaking all the rules then.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of put someone like me on defense, like, oh my God, like I cannot believe he's doing all this.
Yeah.
And then like it went away. Biden came in and I kind of went to sleep for 4 years. Like, whatever. We got an old white guy. He's not causing any harm. I didn't see anything on social media that was making me worried about the country. So I was like,
but there was constant complaints though. Complaints about everything. Everything was Biden's fault. This is Biden's fault. That's Biden's fault. This is Biden's fault. That's Biden's fault.
They still do.
I don't care. Like, fuck Biden too.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't give a shit about Biden. They act like Biden was our god. Like, no, dude. No. I don't like him either.
They're projecting. They project what they do with their God.
Exactly.
They try to put that.
I liked him a little bit more than I hated Trump, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it was nice to see Biden's evolution, like as he started to like become less right, moderate, and then a little bit more like towards like the moderate category.
Right.
Like, and then like,
I like that.
What's up?
I like the moving to the center, being moderate and just relaxing.
Being able to adjust, not just this is the way it's going to be and this is the only way it's going to work.
Right.
Like, no.
You know why I voted for Biden? Because I believe in my heart that he is a good person. I think he loves his family. I think he loves his wife. I think he's good to his nieces and nephews and grandkids. I think he's a great father. Based on what I've seen, he looks like a good father. He may not make all the right choices and, try a bunch of other stuff, but I think in his heart, he's a good person. Thank you. Well, yeah. Well, you have a different perspective, right? You have a much different perspective. Yeah, I get it. I can't speak to that, because
I think he had a pretty big part in that crime bill too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that's Yeah, yeah.
He did some
And there's
shit.
there is record of him doing other things, but that was previous to his run with Obama.
Yeah,
And
he said
things
some
like
racist
that.
shit like back in the '60s or '70s.
Yeah.
And I do remember that clip actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to, if you're gonna choose the biggest fucking liar in the world, he's obviously lying. Like you can see what he said 2 weeks ago, and he didn't do that thing now. You can go back 8 years and prove you're that every time. But the people that support him, they like, well, I'll just follow. I'll just listen to whatever he has to say.
I
He's
mean,
my god.
it's and that's another aspect that I find weird. So many people were so anti-government across the board, just straight anti-government. A lot of Bernie supporters, like, were Bernie supporters because we needed like the government to actually work for us, and Bernie was something different. And like that's a different from the status quo. And then they switched over to Trump because there's like he is different. He most definitely is different. He's gonna shake things up. He's not gonna handle things the way a normal politician would handle things, which it would be a good thing if he had good intentions. That is the problem. Like the intentions
Not a good
aren't
person.
good. Like, and it's like there's so much smoke and mirrors that people really don't see unless they like dive deep down and learn why certain things are happening. Like, for instance, the big thing that a lot of right wingers are bringing up now is how Mexicans are kicking out Americans that are in Mexico.
I haven't heard this one yet. Let's go.
Well, I mean, there's been an
Wait, so we're deporting Mexicans from Mexico so we can go take their jobs?
No, this is actually the problem. This is actually the problem. There's been an influx of Americans going down to Mexico because of the cost of living.
I do know that.
And the Americans doing this, they're like, who's actually able to do that, they're not working in Mexico. So they're not paying taxes into Mexico. So they're working remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're working for America, paying American taxes while being out there. So hey, hoorah, fucking America, right? We get extra tax money.
Absolutely. Mexico's like, hey, you're only giving us, you're only adding to my economy. You're not giving us any revenue.
Literally, you're not like employed with us. You're not increasing our GDP. Like, the only thing you're doing, you're
taking
like, literally like you're buying stuff and you're raising the cost of living here because you come down here with your American money. You have, and it's the exchange rate is so different. It's so cheap out here. So now we have to raise our home prices, and our home prices now our locals can't afford homes anymore because you're coming in gentrifying pretty.
That's how we're taking over America, AJ. That was a top secret mission. I can't believe you blasted that on the podcast.
Hey, it needs to be said.
Man, that has been in place for like the last 40 years.
And not to mention, there's also been cases like the homeless population in Mexico has risen, and it's not Mexican, it's American. So the homeless population is going down to Mexico and being homeless out there.
Sense?
At least they're coming up here working.
Yeah, right. Might as well.
You know what? How many times have you seen a Mexican on the corner with a sign?
Right. Not many. Not here. You know where I see them? They're at Home Depot ready to work, or they're on my fucking roof nailing down
laborers. They on construction sites on a regular basis, like
cleaning houses.
I mean, yeah, a lot of housekeeping, hotel services.
Yeah.
Any type of labor jobs, like at this one place that I interviewed today, it mainly hired Central American workers.
No, all of them. It makes sense. It's smart. It's good for the immigrants. It's good for the company.
It's cheaper. They're willing to do things that Americans won't do,
and they'll be happy about it. Like, who are we to put our like status on them? Like, we feel like you should be making more, so we're gonna hold that accountable to you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Did you see that one Mexican meat packing plant where ICE went in and fucking took everyone?
Where was this located at?
I think that was Tennessee. Don't quote me on that. Leave it in the comments if I got that wrong. Sorry, I get some shit wrong sometimes, guys. But I love to argue with you on TikTok, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think I got shadow banned today for posting too much.
We need to go live on TikTok. We need to go live on TikTok. That'd be pretty fun too.
Well, I almost did this live on YouTube. I want to start doing these live.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Just because it cuts out the editing time, and it just goes straight to YouTube, and I don't have to do anything. I'm just kidding. I'm not lazy, everyone. I'm not lazy. I love working. very hard.
Block out fucking labels until they actually pay us, right?
Yep, absolutely. I forgot to wear my bucked up shirt. But you know what I was saying? So the first Trump administration, we all kind of, I lost a lot of friends during that, the same way that it's kind of happening again. But what I thought from the last time is that I have learned. So this time during the Trump administration, I'm not going to act so aggressively against the administration. But with that new disposition, I'm wading into this administration and I'm still having a lot of problems because this administration is worse, far worse than the first time. They're doing so much more extreme shit. He has no control on him. He's going to do whatever he wants. He's going to run in 2028 if he's alive. The Trump family will be the royal family of America if they have their way.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I don't want President Barron.
Constitution.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Have you been watching like Pam Bondi and Cash Patel, like these guys getting interviewed or not interviewed, but at a hearing in Congress? They're just straight up lying, and it's easy to see. Yeah, I like to watch. I follow a lot of the cross exams because love that shit. Yeah, big fan.
You know
Love
what I
you,
mean?
Jasmine.
Yeah, like because they actually ask hard questions, and the more that they do that, the more that the congressmen or senators or whatever they are, I'm not even a big follower of the
Government
like
officials.
if they're actually doing that and asking the hard questions about these corporations and all and our government agencies, then that actually will help. Like it helps like those clips, it helps get their name out there. And then we also need to start like distinguishing which congressmen, which senators are like taking money from these PACs and just being shitballs towards us, not even voting in our favor. Because like whether you're Republican or whether you're Democrat or independent or libertarian or whatever the case may be, we all pay taxes. We all do. And our taxes should go towards things for us, not corporations and rich people. The money comes from us. You saw what happens when the middle class shuts down. When COVID shut down, what happened? Everyone's panicking. All the the value of everything dropped down crazy, right? Because we weren't making things happen. That's the power of us. Like, so we need to keep these people in check. They need to work for us in our benefit, not these PACs, not the lobbyists. Stop. We need to stop that.
That's why I'm legit. I'm gonna run for an office, some political office in this lifetime. And you know what? You know why? Trump gave me permission because he's so fucking stupid, and he got in. Like I think because I have a good heart, but I can be as crass as him, maybe it'll give me a shot.
It helps. No, it most definitely helps. It most definitely helps because I think you touched on a little bit like earlier on, like you learned that okay, I'm gonna talk to him nicer. I'm gonna do this just to try and keep that discourse, keep it cool. Fuck all that. I don't do that. I don't do that no more. I don't like. There's lives on the line.
You bring in smoke every fucking time.
Like,
There's a.
I mean, like if that's the stance you take, then I don't matter to you. If I don't matter to you, what the fuck do I care?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Because like I've told you before, like I've been having these conversations long before the Trump administration, both this one and previous. When I was raised by an older father, like he told me about how when Avalon Boulevard was segregated, you couldn't go past Avalon Boulevard as a black man in LA at a certain period of time.
Right.
Like, so I have a lot of stories about police treatment, witnessed certain police treatment, been like a victim of certain police treatment. And no matter what I did, free cameras, a lot of my white friends wouldn't believe me.
Right. That's the systemic racism that's taught to us in society, though. Like, there's so much of that now that I get older, and it's in everyone that I see. It's in me.
Yes.
It's in you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like,
you have to unlearn it.
Because we were raised in Carson City. We have some of this weird
years out there, though. You was what? I wasn't raised out there. You was raised out there.
Right.
A couple years out there, though.
Well, still, I mean, you acclimated, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
and when I look back at our childhood, there was a lot of racism. It was just subtle. It was subtle, and we were too young to really know that that's racism. Because I still experience it in my day to day when I have snap judgments about something like, shit, that ain't right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's a Mexican. He's not the other one.
Yeah, I mean, like it's in Carson City. It was hard because if it's a predominantly white area and you're one of four black kids in the entire high school, if I fight one person, how many other people am I going to fight every single time someone else drops the N bomb?
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
You got to take some time with your decisions in that situation.
Especially being the new kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all right,
Yeah.
well, here we go.
And in our town, the racism that I experienced was either white people on Mexican, excuse me, or Indian, Native Americans and Mexicans. Like that was the biggest, racism that I experienced back home. Although, did I ever tell you this story? Do you remember American History X? There's a scene where he like pulls down his shirt and he's like, "You see this? That means not welcome." Or it's talking to that Jewish guy. So anyway, think of that. I'm at the lake. I am 23, 24 years old. I had just bought a 9 millimeter. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And we're at the lake with a couple friends, and we're coming out to go get the car at Sand Harbor. I'm drunk. I have the gun in the car, and there's this white dude on the corner, and he has a tank top on, and we're kind of creeping right around him. We're blasting some rap music, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm looking at him, and he did that exact same shit. He pulled his fucking shirt down to me. I was tan in that summer, but like you wouldn't mistake me as black, would you?
Rule.
True, true. But he pulled that shit on me, and that was the first time that I have ever experienced like a real racism. Like it was at me.
You're being violent.
It was at me, yeah. And I had a gun, and I went and got it, and we came back. I was ready. I was ready to kill that guy, but he was gone when we got back. Thank God. But that was the most racist thing that I've ever experienced in person.
I mean, it's subtly in jokes. It's subtly here and there. It's in Google searches, or it was in Google searches. I think they did a good job actually. Like if you just search up beautiful, you used to pull up a whole bunch of pictures of beautiful women. You used to pull up a whole bunch of pictures of white women, and then like okay, so there is no beautiful women of other races. Like it's
Nope.
just like in these subtle movements, like these people don't have to be as blatantly racist. And today the problem, I would rather somebody be blatantly racist the way Swastika Boy did.
Absolutely, because there's a boundary.
100%. The reason why racism continues is because a lot of people are complacent with it. They don't want to have arguments with their other family members. They don't want to have those hard conversations with their other family members that are blatantly racist. They'll let that N bomb slide when their uncle says it, or when their grandpa says it, or whatever the case may be. Like,
right. And that gives permission then. Not doing any complacency gives permission for that.
Mm-hmm. It does. And it validates exactly what they do. And what, like, why? Like, why? Like, do you actually care about people of color? Like, I don't think you do. Like, you're able to be complacent about it. Like, if people use, I'm not gay, but if someone's like, hey, this dyke, nah, what the fuck? Why would you say something?
Why do you
like,
say that? Yeah, we're adults now.
So, like, yeah, like, I mean, just because she has a more masculine look, I mean, you can call her butch, but you don't have to be blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah, disrespectful. That's
for what? It costs nothing. It costs you nothing whatsoever.
And at a certain point, you should be old enough and mature enough to be like to letting go of all those little things that you've learned that that are wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's probably with a lot of the MAGA folks. They never got to that point, and they're just like, no, I'm just going to keep going with this way of thinking.
They never had
to be working out.
They never had to, and I think that's a major problem that Trump has, is that he's never been held accountable for anything that he's done.
Anything.
Ever.
And he doesn't admit to anything. Like,
and he's
asking why he lost all of his businesses. He won't even answer the question.
Yeah, he's just so blatantly crass and entitled. Like, how do you expect him to actually be a leader? You have to be able to admit fault, admit like, hey, we're going to correct things this way, that way, do something to where we're going to make things better for us. He does none of that.
And it blows my mind that he does that in plain sight, in public, on TV, on his social media. Do you read his posts? Have you ever read his freaking posts? Pull up his post any day of the week and just read through it. It's like, what is he thinking about? And it's all in public, and everyone's like, yep, that's the guy. Man.
what I really can't get over is like how many flights, how many pictures, how many times he's been like on record talking highly of Jeffrey, and now all of a sudden everything just disappears. There's no record. There's none of this. There's none of that. Like you were just buddy buddy, like chummed up with them in this other picture. Ha 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 he he, and all of it goes bye bye.
You can deny your way out of anything. If you hold strong enough to your denial, this is something I learned from Trump. If you just hold to your denial and whatever your stance is, no matter what, it seems like no one's going to do anything about it because you're going to put everyone else in such a weird position. It's like, he's not doing the thing that everyone does when they get to this part. What are we supposed to do? And
Yeah.
that's where everyone loses. It's like, well, we don't know how to fucking deal with this. Supreme Court's like, whatever, you know?
Yeah, like it's, and he's blatantly on record talking about going into teenage girls' locker rooms while they're dressing, while they're changing,
Mhm.
and just being a creep. He's on record verbally saying that on the Howard Stern show. Now we were
You can look that up. People
we
still
were
don't
in
believe
high school
that.
during the Howard Stern show. I was watching the Howard
Yep.
Stern show.
People don't believe that story. I've watched a lot of clips of left wing debaters trying to get MAGA people with that, and they don't want to believe that. Even after they hear and see the clip, now it's AI. Or, you know,
AI.
like,
It came out in like 2005.
right, it's on VHS. Go fucking rent it. Yeah. A VCR is how we used to watch content, guys, and we used to call content TV and movies.
Yeah.
Now everything's content. Yeah, man, it does get exhausting. Like, I have been just doing this political stuff. It is overwhelming. Like, it's every day and it's all the time, which is good for a content creator because I always have a fresh topic to talk about every single day if I want. That's kind of why I pivoted to the political stuff. It was very hard to reach out and find interesting people all the time, get them scheduled, get them in, and like,
Yeah.
I can create by myself videos all the time. And if I have friends that are willing and have a time they can jump on, let's go.
I think that's done on purpose. It's a manipulative tactic to
Mhm.
where like it doesn't matter what you say, like they can say anything over and over and over again, and
Mhm.
it's so exhausting proving that it's wrong or showing people like what it really is that you just get tired of telling them. I get tired of talking about it. Like with like no bullshit when talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, just anything about police brutality. Not even just
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter because I've been doing it way longer than Black Lives Matter. Just talking about like police brutality in itself. It doesn't. I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. I'm saying constantly.
Like they fill themselves with false narratives because doesn't fit what their own perspective is, and it takes so much to have a conversation with one person, and then I have to have that same conversation with five other people. I get tired of having that
Well, they all end the same because you don't get to your point because they can't hear it. So you're always fighting. It's literally like slamming your fucking head against the wall every time you have a conversation with one of these people. Yeah.
It's exhausting, and that's the way it is with today's political climate. It's
Yeah.
exhausting. Like,
Yep.
and you have to prove this to this person, this to that person, this to that person, instead of like them just like looking for the information themselves or trying to be like get the whole picture themselves. Like they the media zooms in on one specific point and that's it. Like this is what it is. But if you actually look at the whole picture and you'll find out, okay, this is why this is happening. This is what could have prevented it. Like,
I would argue it's hard to see the whole picture, man, just because of the amount of information that is out there. Like, I I get it wrong. Honestly, I screw up sometimes, but there's so many
Yeah, we
different
all do.
creators that are taking clips and just giving opinions that
Mm.
when I give an opinion and I have proof to a MAGA person, I show them, they can go rebut that exact clip. They can use AI to find every point that I made in that clip and rebut it perfectly. Like, I do that with insurance company. I use AI to rebut everything they say to me,
Yeah.
and it works.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable. But I think when people lock down their opinion and ego and not are like looking for objective facts, like, okay, well, trying like they're not solid in their own stance. They're willing to take in new information and then change their opinion. And I think a lot of people don't do that now.
That's called critical thinking.
and they really don't want you to do that. Like you can't be a critical thinker. Like you
No,
can't
the
think
MAGA
outside.
party relies on here's this idea. That is your idea now. You take that and you give it to the rest of them. That's the only idea you spread.
Any idea that opposes that idea that they said, no, you're a crazy leftist. You're a
Communist.
You're this. Yeah,
Marxist.
you're all these other things just for not going along with what they're saying. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
So at the end of this, we still didn't figure out how we're going to make our relationships with our friends and our family better in our political climate.
Actually, I don't care too.
Yeah, I get
To
it.
be honest, like, and that's where, like, when you're in certain relationships and it's only one sided, and you actually come to people with like real shit, and they can care less.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you do when you need that person? What if that person is in a position you find yourself in that's the only person that you can rely on? Fuck that person?
You have, you have other issues if that's the only person you can rely on.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you're pretty dependent in itself. I'm hyper independent, so I don't do that. I rarely ask for help, and when I do, it's coming from a special place. Like, I'm trusting you to help me, and yeah, like I said, I rarely do, but I often offer my help a lot more than I ask for help. And I do that on purpose. I most definitely do that on purpose, just to make sure that, like, I don't want to take from the world more than I'm giving into it. And honestly, if you can't respect me as a friend and understand where I'm coming from, then it's just time for me to walk away.
Word. I want to know what you guys are thinking. How are you guys navigating this political climate with your friends and your families out there? Obviously, AJ and I are having a pretty tough time doing it. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing it in the comments, especially where you're from too, because I think that says a lot. You know, I'm in the South, so there's a lot of MAGA around here. I'd love to know where you are and how you are dealing with this. Leave it in the comments. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, the McMedia Network, and YouTube. Chris McIntyre, AJ Johnson. Well, eat the chicken grease.